Today on the grid, it's Blind Photo Critiques Day, where we crush the hopes and dreams of photographers all over the world. My co-host today is, well, he's a Justin Bieber fan. He wants to go to Japan. He drives a sedan. He likes cheese from a can. He's got a long lifespan. He loves Jackie Chan. He's been to Spokane. He rocks out to Duran Duran. It's the real Rocket Man, Erik Kuna. We've got some news. We've got some delightful prizes, and it all starts in just 21.4 seconds. Let's go!
The grid is brought to you by Platypod, the tripod alternative that is changing the world. Everybody has a Platypod. You should too. Go to platypod.com.
Well, hey. We're here.
Hey, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another live episode of The Grid. Scott Kelby here, and the real Rocket Man, the can of ham.
And there's Scott's back. He's on a different time zone right now.
I am. I'm a little punchy. I still haven't completely... Yesterday, I was trashed. Yesterday, I had lunch with Erik. We had a lunch meeting, and I was like...
It was like a dinner meeting, like
I'm
a late night
feeling much better
meeting.
Today, but I'm still not 100%, but I'm feeling much better today. I got a good night's
so you
sleep.
just came back from your workshop in Tuscany. Yeah.
Erik, I swear. Now, I've done a number of these workshops. This was my most fun workshop I've ever done. Now, I will tell you there's two reasons. Well, there may be four reasons. Number one, I had the best group of people on this workshop ever. Seriously. Everybody was
That's
good.
always a great thing.
Dude, it was a great dynamic. Everybody just fit together so well, and and everybody had a great sense of humor. They were ready to roll. They were up for everything. Dude, we laughed our way through Italy. We were literally on a bus freaking singing songs. It was just, we had bottles of wine. It was just the greatest.
Shouldn't that be a requirement to go on a workshop? Is that you just have like a great attitude and you're just all about like just going on the workshop?
Everybody on this workshop had a great attitude, and
I find just, nine times out of 10 that's the thing.
Yeah. But usually there's one.
There's one.
We didn't have the one. We didn't have it.
Awesome.
Everybody was so much fun. We had the greatest time. So picture this. All right. So we have this great group of people that are really fun and really neat.
Yep.
We're in the most beautiful place, and Erik, the weather. You couldn't have dialed in. We had such great skies that everyone's going to think we sky replaced them. We were shooting skies to later use them for sky replacement.
That's always the best.
So we have great weather. Erik, the food.
Well, you can't go wrong.
We were in the region where they make pecorino cheese.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
Pecorino, like you go to the restaurant and there's like 10 different pecorino choices for appetizers. It was incredible.
Yep.
All right, so great weather. Incredible locations. The hotel that we were at was in the absolute, if you could drop a pin in the best place in Tuscany, it was our individual hotel. It was.
Well, I saw some shots that were like down the street from your hotel and it looked amazing.
That's what I'm saying. They were right there. Yeah. I got to give a shout out to Serge Romali. I asked Serge, I called Serge as a buddy of mine. You guys have seen him on the grid. You know who Serge is. I called Serge and said, Serge, I know you do workshops in Tuscany. He says, Scott, stay here. Go to this hotel. And he was right on the money. It was perfect. So great weather, good food, beautiful Italy, scenery. And imagine you're taking all these things that you love, travel and food and people and fun and laughter and music. And it was crazy.
Awesome.
It was. We just had the most fun.
Do you have any images?
I have a few. I'm not nearly done, but
I've seen some. I mean, you talk about weather.
Show you a few.
I mean, that's awesome right there. Look at that.
And this was one of the weirdest things.
How do you get that morning?
This is like a 6-minute walk from our hotel. We did have a bus. We had a real nice Mercedes bus, a Sprinter van. For 17 people it held. So
I
really
have a
nice.
Sprinter van.
I know you have a Sprinter. Anyway, it was really nice. But I was telling everybody, guys, once the sun comes up, we always leave. And I'm like, no, wait till the sun comes up, because then it comes through the fog. We had that low-lying mist. I'll just show you a couple of quick shots. I'm just going to breeze through them. And these are all like right near where we are. Look at this. This is 6 minutes from our hotel. And it's just
that's one of my favorite times of day to shoot.
And the fog rolling in. The first day we went, there was no fog, but the class wasn't there yet. It was just me and Jason. Mm-hmm. So Jason from our team here went with me, and he's the director of the grid and stuff, and he also works with me on all these classes. So he came with me, and we taped 2 classes there. Ready?
I'm excited for this one.
Using your iPhone for travel photography.
Yep.
So the first class, we're on location in different locations in Tuscany, showing how to use the iPhone. and then the second class is how to edit on your mobile device.
Yeah.
So you're editing on your phone or on your tablet using Lightroom, of course. So we did those 2 classes, and then Jason went on to Venice, took a train to Venice, and then took a train to Rome. And dude, he's shooting lights out.
I saw some of Jason's
I'm following
stuff.
him on
They're awesome.
Facebook and Mimo. Mimo Madani is my co-instructor, and Mimo is the best. He's just the best person. He's the best guy you could ever want to do a workshop with. He's just amazing. He's just the greatest, most fun guy with the biggest smile, and everybody loves him. And Mimo is going, are you seeing what Jason shot? Like Mimo's good. Mimo's a good photographer. And Mimo, of course, is getting crazy shots. And he taught his black and white processing, which is kind of what you just saw. That was Mimo's style.
Right.
He has his own style. Dude, he did classes on composition. He did classes on color. He was the best teaching I've ever seen.
Now, did you have to do a lot of long exposures, or did the weather?
No, there were no long exposures.
Oh, yeah?
You know what it was? This is so cool. There was no wind. The clouds would go, and they'd go like this, and they would just stay there. You could just shoot it. The clouds would not move. Nothing moved. No trees moved. Nothing moved.
Sometimes that's great. That's great.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful. I'll show you a couple more shots real quick, and then we're going to get to today. This is, again, right near our hotel. The last night I was there, I had to fly out of Florence, so Mimo and I went and caught sunset there in Florence.
I love that time, too, with the blue hour.
This is in Montepulciano. My friend Kelly told me about this town that was 30 minutes from our hotel, Montepulciano. It's a town up on a hill, and this church is down the hill right before the town. And a wonderful town.
That's
just wonderful. We went to a church that has no roof. We went out in the countryside. There's this famous church that has no roof. The roof is gone, and it's just wide open. And so this was in this abandoned church, and we hired. Mimo found us a Brazilian model who is a violinist. I said, they got to play cello or violin.
Oh, cool.
Mimo finds her. She was wonderful. Incredible musician. So imagine us.
I love how you do that model shoot. Yeah,
we always do something, but it's themed toward what we're doing. So picture we're at this abandoned church in the countryside.
Yeah.
And she's playing this beautiful music, and we're getting to photograph her. And it was just wonderful. She was wonderful. Everybody loved it. This is the only shoot we did before dawn. And then you would leave there and you would walk 5 minutes in the other direction.
Because it's very close to dawn, because you can see that sun.
Yep, that sun's
just about to kiss.
That's crack up. This is Siena. We're doing little panos of Siena. Mm-hmm. And again, that's I think you just saw that shot. Then we went to the Duomo in the morning. Me and Mimo went to that Duomo. Duomo arigato, miss. Just that song. Anyway, just thing after thing. Just so much fun. This is that town of Montepulciano. Look at that sky.
Look at those clouds. That's amazing.
We had the most amazing. Everywhere we went, there were just
those are the clouds you dream of right there.
Anyway, that's just a few. I'm just touching. I'm going to do a Adobe Spark page on it, so I'm just getting on it. But oh my gosh, we had so much fun. All right, I could go on and on. I'm so excited. It was literally one of the best weeks I've had in years, and I'm so grateful to Mimo, who is just a wizard to do workshops with, and then the group that I had. Just the greatest folks, and
so
loved it.
You had the travel photography, you had this workshop, but if you want, at the end of the month, we have a travel photography conference. We have a travel,
and I've got some good classes. Mm-hmm. I got some killer classes planned for that. So I hope you'll come and join us. It has a funky name. It's called the Travel Photography Conference.
Yeah.
All right. So it's exactly what it is. It's
pretty straightforward.
It's at the end of this month. And of course, even if you can't make it on those days, the 25th and 26th, you get the whole thing archived for the year. Yep. Okay. So Ellen wants to know, tell us the name of the hotel. It is the Casanova Wellness and Spa. Now, by the end of our trip, we were calling it the Casanova Mental Health Facility because our people were nuts. My group was nuts, but it's the Casanova, Casanova, Wellness and Spa, and it's wonderful. It is a quirky, wonderful hotel, but Erik...
Better go book it now.
Erik, you walk out the back door, and you have this incredible pool, and there is those hills that you see me photographing.
There you go, right there.
That is from the balcony of the hotel.
There you go.
And that does not do it justice. I mean, it really, It's an incredible
And look
place.
they got a spa. They're all ready to go.
Yeah, and it's a very it's a funky hotel. It's really cool. It's very what was the word we used for it? It's a quirky hotel. You'll love it. It's crazy. And you know what? They were super nice. Like, they were super great to us.
That's always the best,
staff
yeah.
treated us really great, and you know, because we'd ask for crazy stuff. Like, we're leaving at 6:30 in the morning before the restaurant's
Yeah,
open.
it's a little different when you're doing photography. I mean, we kind of work off hours, right? You
Right,
know?
but dude, they would get up in the morning and they would have coffee ready for us and
That's
everything
awesome.
ready to go. Oh, they were wonderful. They were great. Okay, let's go. We got some
All right.
prizes. We got a new sponsor. We got all kinds of good stuff today.
So we got a bunch of prizes we're giving away today. We got the Platypod Goosenecks. So we're going to be giving away the Platypod Goosenecks for your Platypods. And then we're going to be giving away speaking of travel photography, we've got the travel photography book by Scott Kelby. So we're giving that away. And then the How Do I Do That in Lightroom book by, again,
me,
Scott Kelby.
Me.
And then we're going to be giving away a copy of On One Effects 2022 awesome effects plugin.
Speaking of that, there might have been a little On One effects in some of those pictures.
Oh, yeah.
You just saw.
I could tell.
Kaboom.
Yeah. And then we've got V-Flat World's going to be giving away two things. They're going to be giving away one of their V-Flats, which are really cool because they fold up really nice, fit right in the back seat of your trunk or back seat of your car. And then giving away the Dual Board XL, which is really cool in that you can, like, it's a backdrop that you see there you can set up. Those are for U.S. only, so only enter those if you're, U.S. shipping only. Everybody can get a discount at V-Flat World, though, if they use the code Kelby10 at checkout for 10% off. And then we also have a new sponsor of the grid. Imogen it's an AI photo editing assistant. And I know I've messed around with it a little bit.
I did
mess around with it a little bit
when we first heard about them.
Yeah, so it's really cool. I could say for me, it's not as much for a workflow like mine. It's definitely designed for people who are wedding photographers, event photographers, portrait photographers, sports photographers, somebody who's shooting thousands of images, then whittling that down to hundreds of selects and just needing a good edit, right? And what it does is it does that AI editing, and it will automatically apply your style of editing. So you have to feed it your images how you would edit, or you can use they have pros that have developed their looks, and you can go on there and use their styles as well. But it's really cool because then you can just hit a button, and when you upload a folder, it will automatically process and apply. One thing that I did like, I liked it all, but the one thing I did like is they also have this feature for the cropping and straightening your photo.
Yeah.
Which worked surprisingly very well. And what was cool about it is that gave you some ideas for different crops that you might do. And because it's inside a Lightroom Classic, it's all editable. So it's not like any of these edits are permanent.
Right.
So that's the cool part about it. So yeah, check it
so
out.
welcome. We're
and
very
then,
glad
you can go over to their website. It's imogen-ai.com. If you sign up for an account, they give you 1,000 free edits.
Yeah, 1,000 AI edits. Yeah.
Yep. So there you go.
All right, well, cool. We're glad to have them in.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, just want to show you. Can we see my screen for a second? I was talking about little finishing moves that I do to my images, and one of them I do, this is an On One Effects. It's their new one, 2023, but I add this filter. It's just called Glow, but I want to tell you a little bit more than it's just Glow. Of course, right, you go to Glow and you click on Normal or whatever. But if you go to More, the one that I wind up using the most is called Black Soft right here. And that's the one I generally... So why do I put a glow on? I'm trying to shoot with a really sharp lens, and I'm sharpening my image, and at the end I go put a glow, because that glow kind of gives it a like for landscapey stuff, it gives it... Now, they have the Orton effect kind of stuff. They have Orton Clean and Orton Here's the Who.
And it's very not similar types of effects,
right?
But it's a little different.
But this is so subtle that your image will still look sharp.
Yes.
But it takes the edge off it, which I love. So that's the one I use. And also down here, if you go down here to a Radiance Glow is real nice. Take a look at Radiance Glow. So look at, as you go through them, there's different glows. I like this Radiance Glow. Then there's Black Soft. And, just find the one that looks good for your image. But it really does. That's too much, Deep Forest. It takes the edge off your photo, and it really gives it without going too far. I want to say it gives it a painterly look without putting a painter effect on it. It just adds that certain little at the end.
I like that. That's the word. It creates that mystical.
Yeah,
it has that mystical kind of like. Okay, it looks more like it has depth and it adds depth and dimension is what it does.
And you know what? Do you see this one called Rich Glow? That would be a really good name if you were a rapper.
Rich Glow,
right?
There you go.
That'd be a good rap name. Rich Glow. No. Anybody? Nothing. Okay. All right. So today is Blind Photo Critiques Day. We're gonna take a really short break. When we come back, we're gonna hit one way or the other.
We got so many images.
We have so many, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. We're gonna get through.
We're not gonna get through them.
We're gonna get through 20 today. So we're gonna whip through them. Don't worry. Stick around. We'll be right back.
What if you could hire an extra set of hands just to deal with editing your photos? And what if this assistant was thinking and editing exactly like you? With Imagine, this is not a distant dream. Introducing your new personalized AI Lightroom Classic editing assistant. It analyzes your unique editing style down to the very last detail and applies that style instantly and uniquely to every new photo from your Adobe Lightroom catalogs. Whether it's color correction, cropping, or straightening, Imagine's AI assistant knows what needs to be done based on your previous edits. The AI constantly learns your unique point of view and improves. With just a few clicks, Imagine edits your photos in your personal style faster than ever. It takes less than half a second per photo at all volumes. Now you can finally have the time to scale up your business and win back free time. In addition to creating your own personal AI profile, you can also use one of our pre-built talent AI profiles if you are uncertain about your unique style or just want to explore the signatory styles of leading photographers. Your new AI assistant is here to deliver. Achieve amazing results right from the first frame and maintain the highest level of precision in each and every photo. Starting at only a few cents per photo, you get fantastic value for your money and save hours of work. So say goodbye to hours of tedious manual editing and to presets that distort your photos and underdeliver. And say hello to the future.
Hey guys, and welcome to this class Hard Light. Now, you might wonder, what is hard light? Is it light that hits you hard? Actually, it is. It is light that hits you hard. Now, one of the things that a lot of photographers struggle with at the start of their career is actually, how the heck did they light that? So in this class, we're going to talk about the smaller light sources, gobos, flags, whatnot more. And you can create stunning images with that. We're going to create a really cool Rembrandt triangle setup for you guys. Butterfly, that little thing under the nose. Yes, we're going to also set that one up in the studio. But we also have retouching hard light. We're going to use Lightroom. We're going to use Photoshop, but most of all, because we're using hard light, we're going to talk about what you can do with it. Because you can create some stunning shadows, but you can also create some really nice soft edge transfers by using flags. The hard light is very, very cool. So let's go for the class Mastering Hard Light.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by B&H Photo, the professional source since 1973.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It is Blind Photo Critiques Day. Scott and Eric, and we're going to be looking at some images and giving honest critiques. So we're not holding back. It's not our thing.
Before we start, just got to clarify one thing. The Imagen is the new sponsor, but they the no prize giveaway for that.
Yeah,
so.
But
if you go over to their website, sign up, you get 1,000 free
edits. So there's that.
There you go.
Okay, let's take a look at our first person here, and we'll look at all three images here. We asked everybody to send. You know, it was bad. Some people sent in some that were really good, and they only sent 2 images or 1 image. Worst. You're like, no.
Ooh, these are nice.
These are wonderful. Now, they're using a toning on these images that's very popular, the turquoise and orange combination, which is very, very popular. But I'm telling you what, they look great on these photos. They're doing more than that. That is one part of it.
Yeah, but you could tell it's the same photographer because of the toning and the editing.
Yes. All 3 of these shots were obviously taken by the same photographer, which I love. Good photography. Really looks like they're all done in New York. That's the Oculus, and there's the New World Trade, and that's something else. I'm not sure where it is, but I bet it's in New York. Anyway, these are wonderful. I love their post-processing, their toning. I like everything they're doing.
Yeah.
These are just great. These are just great. They're great. They're so interesting. Really great leading lines, and just they're all interesting photos with really nice toning, and I love the toning they're doing. Great.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good way to start off.
Keep doing
that's a good way to start off. Let's take a look at what we got here. Oh, we love aviation shots. Look at that timing. That's like Larry Grace timing. You know, Larry Grace, I don't know. You guys probably know Larry from being on the show here. But Larry is the king of timing. Like, dude, he always gets, like, you can get sharp photo shots, but Larry gets shots like this where they're so on the money.
Yes, and can I add something to that first one?
Yes.
You have to, for example, and this is what Larry's so good at, is study the routines and how they're flying. And for example, if you were tracking the one jet versus the other jet, you can see the one in the back's a little softer than the one in the front. And it's because
he was
they
tracking
knew
the
one,
whoever, or she was tracking right. Anyway,
it can be luck sometimes, but a lot of the times the reason Larry's hitting it more often than not is Larry's studying all that stuff.
Right. So mentioning that your photos are like Larry's is quite a compliment.
Yes,
that's a big compliment. And this looks like another what Larry would shoot as well. So you're shooting lights out.
Of course, are we sure these aren't Larry's shots?
Who knows? But you know what I would say? Of all of these, I love this one too. But if you didn't, it says file cannot be found. Crud. I'm gonna have to fix this. So give me a minute. But that photo is flat. It needs
versus the others.
Right.
The others have.
I wonder why it is showing that. Give me a second.
And I know if you punch that up too, it's gonna create that. It's going to create a lot of detail in the vapor trail or the trails behind the plane.
Oh, hang on. I moved the folder. If it happens, you blew it. What photo is it? This one? Yeah. All right, let me see if that fixes it. Okay, there we go. Oh, wait, give it a second. It says file cannot be found. It's not live. All right.
There we go.
If you did nothing more than just hit the auto button.
Yeah.
You could see how flat it was. Look at this. It's not just me. Look how flat that photo was on the left. Right, and look how it brings out the vapes and all that. And, it's the trail. It could use a little more than that, honestly.
But that distortion behind it really kind of like
distortion.
And then if you want to really take up that heat distortion, you could hit that with a little texture and clarity.
Yeah, but
you could only do that to the heat distortion. It would even be better.
But just some minor adjustments would make that one a whole lot better. But anyway, you're shooting great. Keep it up. Yeah. And if you're not following Larry Grace on Instagram, go follow him because you're shooting his style.
Yeah.
All right. Let's roll on. Next. We saw that one.
Uh-oh.
Wow, these are lovely.
These are
lovely. Now, they have applied a
painterly
effect. But can I tell you something? They've done it subtly enough to where it doesn't get in the way. Sometimes when people apply this effect, it ruins the photo, and
it's a tasteful painterly effect.
Very nice. These are beautiful. Good photos. I mean, really good photos to start with, and then a tasteful. This is my least favorite because I'm not crazy about how bright the flowers are. That's just. There's so much negative space in this that's lovely. These are really nice. Well,
I'm with you on that one. I think if you tone down those flowers, open up the shadows on the hummingbirds
on the hummingbirds. Yeah,
I think that they're all great though.
Yeah, we have hummingbirds that fly at our house like every day. Yeah, we have outside. We have this vines that go up this. I don't know what they're called, but it's a little area outside, and we sit there, with the dogs. The dogs run around, and they come right fly
That's
up,
cool.
and we eat them. Anyway, but that's very nicely done. Wow, we're off to some good shots. More aviation. This looks like another Larry Gray shot. That's pretty nice.
I love the prop blur.
Are they shooting air to air?
Well, definitely air to air there.
Look at that.
That could be on the ground.
Dude, if I find that these are
That
models
definitely
or something, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's
No,
really
that's
good. Look
really
at the
good.
light on it and
Yeah.
everything. These are these air to air?
No, I think that one, see, because you could be on a mountain ridge looking at it. It could be either
How do you
way.
get on a mountain ridge at an air show?
Well, you
Well,
could
I
hike
mean,
up to a mountain
they could
ridge.
be. I don't even know what.
That one definitely looks air. I mean, you have to be.
But there's no. I don't see any markings on the plane. Like I don't see what country it's from or anything. I don't know. Hey,
Well, maybe out.
all right. Can I ask you a
something out
question?
there?
Is it missing a tail fin?
No, because it's like down.
You don't.
Zoom in on the
You
pilots.
don't see any of it.
Yeah, I mean, no, because you got to think it's like kind of like pointed down, so you're not seeing
Okay.
it because of the angle. I think that's legit.
Okay. All right. Anyway, I love that one. That's my favorite. But this one's really good too. These are all great. These are LG quality.
I love the middle one. Yeah, the middle one's really nice. That
Yeah,
one.
I mean they're all great. They're
I
all
mean, you're right
terrific.
about the one thing that's weird about the middle one is the design of the jet. How you don't see that tail fin.
And you don't see any marking.
Yeah, it's a little different,
Anyway, but they're all good. So
but still good.
wow, we're off to a really great start.
Oh,
Oh gosh. Look at this. Oh, that's nice.
yeah, that's definitely my favorite.
We're gonna find out that Larry went to all the ISAP members and said, put in your photos. Well, this is pretty much, I think,
Definitely
it for the aviation
I
photos.
like that middle one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the killer. You know what's so great about this? It's so clean. Do you know how hard it is to
That's-
get a clean shot at an air show of a plane?
Almost impossible.
Almost
Now,
impossible.
I will say, if you want a better shot, get to the air show like super early.
Yeah, this is
and
like a dawn.
as they're coming in.
Yeah.
'Cause it starts getting really crowded if you're
Yep.
at an air show right at.
Those are terrific. They're all great. That's really
mean,
nice.
Yeah. That's a hard one because it's like
There's not
you
enough
got the
separation.
sky and
Yeah.
the separation.
That's the least of the three. That's
Yeah,
my
that's-
hands
that's-
down
I
favorite.
would agree
That's
that-
you can sell that one, and this one is good. It's a little busy, but I will say this for the photographer: for these two, they're shooting at the
it's
right
good.
time of day.
The first one, I think you could simplify and clean up the background if you wanted to.
All right,
Take out some stuff.
all right. Let me do one more
Again,
thing
it's
because
not terrible.
something's funky here. So hang on one
You're
second.
getting out there at the right time.
There is
That's another thing.
something is not right here. I'm not sure that I am.
Yes, I mean, you got to get out there the right time. That's a big thing, especially at the air shows, because you don't want to be shooting. And that's where that last shot, that's usually typical of air shows. And then we don't get to pick the skies. The sky was bald. We don't get to pick the skies.
Let me do this.
So there's definitely
Hang on, something
pluses
ain't
and
right here.
minuses to it.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
Something ain't right. All right,
Something ain't right. I think he's disconnected something.
I have, but I'm gonna fix it right now.
Yes, we're going to fix it.
We're gonna fix it, guys. Can we fix it? Yes, we can. Okay.
All right, we're going.
Sheeple, we're getting there. Hold on. All right, this is next. Let me just. I guess I gotta hit him. I did him.
You
All
gotta
right,
hit that button.
that button. Hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks. I had
There we go.
a thing on me. It's just on me. It wasn't a. Yeah. All right. Let's take a look at our next one. Here we go. 3 shots. So, some really nice color toning here, like really a very Glenn Dewis style. We're comparing everybody's bill. Very Glenn Dewis-y style. I like the
that's
the
my
post.
favorite.
Yeah, this is hands down my favorite. And the lighting is very good here. The post-production is very good. The color toning is very good. His expression is good. The sharpening's done nice. There's like, and look at on the
highlights
and
the shadows.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, this is really well done. This one has got all of the other qualities, but her expression is not good. Like you did everything right. This is not your toning's good, but she's not really giving you anything. Like this guy is giving you like that's a great pose. He's got showing character. She looks like is it over yet? I mean, it's just not happening.
And that's where you're saying you just have to work at that a little harder.
Yeah.
To get some other expressions.
Right.
Get some variety.
The expression part, unfortunately, is part of your job. You've done all the other photography stuff right. You've got the right exposure. Your lighting looks good. All that kind of stuff. The post is good. Everything's good, but you don't have a great expression.
There's a tip that you would have for somebody like to just try giving some different expressions?
Well, I mean,
I know you use comedy a lot.
Well, I mean, I
noticed.
I try to get a reaction out of them, but the problem is with the type of photography you're doing, like you're not looking for a reaction. You're looking for them to be in a different space. Like, look at her. Mm-hmm. You don't want her laughing. You don't want her. Hey, look, Larry Gray says, I asked photographers from a couple of air shows to submit their images for critique.
There we go.
Larry Grace just admitted it. He
all
sent
right.
in some photographers. But I will say this, Larry, they're all great.
Yeah,
they're
great.
You're doing a hell of a job, buddy, because they're all great. They all look like you. So that's great. All right.
So I see what you're saying. Like, definitely the expression.
She's solemn and she's giving you a thoughtful look, right? And
she's looking back to the camera.
And he is giving you a thoughtful, deep look. Though I like his post processing the best.
Yeah, his is
hers doesn't even belong in this group. Hers does. He does. This looks like something different. So I would really focus on the mood you're setting. She doesn't fit the mood of what you're setting, where the other two do. So that's it. Good stuff, though. I mean, I don't want to be too critical. You're doing really great.
Yeah.
Can't believe Larry Grace and setting us up here with this. But it's perfectly fine to do that. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's perfectly fine. I have to go to... hang on. I got more little technical problems, but they will be solved in moments. Moments, I tell you. If I hit the right keyboard shortcut, it sure makes a big difference.
All right, I think he's back.
1 second. I got to go to here. Then I can close this. And if all still works and I did it okay. All right, we're moving on.
All right.
Here we go.
Monkey on a ledge.
Monkey on a ledge. Well, these are quite good.
Yeah.
You got a really, really good photographer, obviously. This is pretty well done. I don't think this was taken out in the wild, obviously, maybe at a zoo or a temple or something.
It does appear to be maybe a temple or something.
But
because of the way the moss is growing and
this
edge.
Yeah.
It looks very...
But he's got a good expression on that monkey.
Yeah.
Now, you got to imagine... Now, here's what I'm talking about, folks. You got to imagine that whoever this photographer is, he or she took probably 50, 60 photos.
Yep, of the monkey on the ledge.
But getting the right expression makes all the difference, right?
That is the hardest thing with animals, too, because you can't ask them to do anything.
You can't say, I need you to look more sad.
Yeah.
This is nice. I'm not crazy about her hand position.
Hand position. I was going to say the same thing. The hand position looks
like she's. I'm wondering,
like she's like, thinking. I wonder if I should be here in this lighting.
But the lighting is great.
Perfect,
she's great.
I should scratch my head.
Right. And then this last one is just, very, very nice, clean waterfall. A lot of times when you see these waterfalls, they're dirty. Like there's all kinds of junk in it, and there's sticks in there. I mean, there's a stick, but this is nice and clean.
They also didn't let the water turn blue, very blue.
And they went long enough with their exposure, right? Because a lot of times Erik and I will see, we're like, oh, you should have gone. You used a 3-stop, or you just went. Anyway, very, very nice. We got some good stuff today. All right, let's see what's next. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we got. Whoops, I got to hit the right button. It's pretty good. All right, I like where you're going overall.
I like that last one.
You got some little lighting issues that I think could help, right? First off, if I had to say where are the brightest parts of this image, it's these flowers or her hand.
That edge hand.
And right
flowers.
here. And what should be the brightest part of the image is her face. So we got to work on that.
Well,
now those
you could fix that.
You can fix that in
kind of
post.
Real quick in post.
Yeah. Well, first off, you can brighten her face by going to the mask, right, and just choose brush. And let's bring this up a little and brighten her face. Now I'm over brightening her face. Her face doesn't need to be quite that
You're
bright.
Exaggerating.
Yeah, I'm
right now.
exaggerating.
You can bring
Then
it back down.
I would go and create another mask, go to linear gradient, and let's darken from her face down. Whoops, other way. Okay, all bad. Do that again. Add a new mask, linear gradient, and we'll go up.
Yep.
There we go. And let's darken the rest of her. So her face really stands out. There we go. And then with these three, you're probably just going to have to do with a brush. Create mask, brush, and let's go and just pull these back a bit. They're just, and this is sloppy stuff, but you got to pull those back. So I'm not looking at those. And maybe a linear gradient. Maybe let me get rid of that last
Yeah, you might be able
last
to
mask.
drag that linear gradient down and just focus on the highlights too is a lot.
Yeah. And just get the focus back on her. So, and I'll just show you a before and after. See, you're kind of relighting it. Look at how flat that lighting was. You need something more interesting.
Yeah, and you did that really quick
Yeah, it
and
was kind of
sloppy.
sloppy.
If
Take
you
more time.
took more time at it, you would definitely highlight that
All right.
face.
And you're having a similar issue here in which her face is not the lightest thing. Her arms are very bright. You might be able to fix this
with
with
radial gradient.
With a radial gradient. Mr. Kuna's one step ahead of me. Draw the gradient over her, but then you're going to hit invert because I don't want to make her face darker. I want to make everything but her face darker, so we can kind of go in and darken this a bit. And you also might maybe work with her skin tone a little bit. I'm pulling her the yellows up a little bit because her skin tone is not very great. Now let's do this. Let's go back. Let's get out of this and maybe just put a little more. Her skin tone is just not awesome all the way around. In fact, I would have added the skin tone to everything, not just to her.
Right.
And then I don't know if you really need to make her face much brighter once everything else is there, but it's the same thing with all of these. Now, I love what you're trying to do with the film noir thing. I don't know. On my laptop, I can see the full image and her full dress and everything.
I can see it too.
But what I would do is get that spotlight on her tighter. Like look how much of it her shoulder it's lighting.
The shoulder, yeah.
So what you really need, and this is going to be fast and dirty, so forgive me if it's not awesome. I want a very thin beam of light. I'm going to rotate it, and I'm thinking invert. You need that very thin.
And you know what? Where you can do that stuff really well is this thing called Boris Effects.
Boris Effects, sure. Boris Effect Optics would do this all day long. Now, you don't want to lose the rest of the photo, so you might bring up the shadows a bit so you can see the rest of her. Wow, I brought the shadows up, and there wasn't much going on there.
I think you're still on the mask.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, no?
Nope, mask is closed.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's just not bringing up enough of it. But you might have to go to the mask, create a new mask, and brush in, or I probably should use a radial gradient and just bring up the other detail in the photo. But if you really want that film noir look, right, you gotta that's got to be a stronger. But I like where you're going, with all of it and that stuff. All right, do we have to take a break?
Yeah, we got to take a break.
Let's take a real quick break. When we come back, we got lots more to go through. But anyway, I like where you're going with that stuff. Keep doing it. But let's work on the lighting a little bit on all of it. On all of it needs a little more work on the lighting.
So there are some things that we decided to do early on to make our online training really resonate with photographers and make it an immersive experience. We're in Manhattan with a ballerina from the New York City Ballet. Or when we teach you travel photography, you're right there with the instructor in the streets of Paris or Venice, learning everything from the camera techniques to the photography techniques to the camera settings. We're flying a squadron of warbirds in formation off the coast, and you're right there in the chase plane, and you see it all unfold right in front of you. Whether we're in the studio or out in the field, you're right there every step of the way. With 24/7 access, you can watch it on your desktop or laptop, your tablet or your phone. We even have an Apple TV app. You can also take classes offline, so if you're traveling, you don't have internet access, you can still keep learning. We've put together learning tracks that start you off by suggesting specific classes. And when you're done with that, you're ready to start exploring more than 800 classes. If you think your best images are still inside you, let us help you break through that, take you to the next level. We'll see you in class.
Hi, this is Hilmar Smith. Join me in my newest class, The Ultimate Guide to Photographing Kids. I'm gonna give you all the tips you need so you can start planning everything for the pre-consultation with the grown-ups, and then how to manage the kids on set and how to keep them engaged. I will have 7 kids on set, 7 different personalities, 7 different ages. They all will have an individualized, customized photo shoot that they were gonna pick their costume and the whole theme of it. We even have a goat. Things are gonna go wrong, things are gonna go fine, and then you're gonna see how you can polish everything on post so everything looks perfect. I'm super excited to bring this class to you, so please join me at kelby1.com.
Hey guys, I'm Tuvi, and I'm going to show you 2 really cool products that we at VFlat World sell. So the first one is our Duo boards, which are double-sided, hyper-realistic backdrops for food and product photographers. They come in 2 sizes. This is the larger side. We have all different types of textures and designs. These are some of the new ones that came out recently, and they also, there's a bag option available for them. And our other product, which is what we actually started the company with, it's called a V-flat. It's a foldable V-flat, and it's used for portrait and studio photographers to control light on their subjects, to either add light with the white side or use the black side to subtract light, or even block like an unwanted window light coming in.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Canon.
Yeah, I was,
There we
but I
go.
wouldn't move. Hey, we're
right.
back. Scott and Eric here. Ready to move on? Let's go.
All right.
Here's our next set. It looks like 2 different photographers
One
took
out of
these.
3 ain't bad.
1 out of 3 ain't bad. This is really good.
Actually, that one's really good. That one's really good.
This is good because of a number of things. Number one, you have the peak moment of action, which is great. You've got the ref looking in, but you've got some separation from the background. And that's what's killing the other 2 shots. This looks like a pro level shot. These look like amateur shots. And it's because you don't have any separation from that background. Like you're just not getting the, and this is another peak moment of action.
Try to get in tighter is one thing right there.
But I think what you have to do is get back a little further or just zoom in tighter.
Yeah.
And that'll help you get separation from that background. Now let's go to this shot right here. Let's go to masking and hit select subject. So that's got them, right? They did a good job. Hit inverse so you have the background. Now, you could just darken the background. That'll help a little.
Yeah, right there helps a little.
But what you really need is the out of focus background. Now, you could go to clarity and put negative clarity. It's not going to help enough. It doesn't look realistic. Texture looks better. And then go to sharpness and drag it down. You're starting to get there.
You're trying to like defocus what you don't want everybody focused on.
Yeah. And then you could do a little cleaning up in your mask.
The exposure, I'd maybe go like half a stop.
Like maybe just a little.
Yeah, like right there.
Yeah, but it's still, you don't have that. Now, let's look at your settings because I think we have some suspect settings here. Let's go to For example, let me get out of that.
What are you at 90 millimeters?
Yeah, you're at 90 millimeters.
Well,
which
that one you're at 150 millimeters.
You are at 150 millimeters, which isn't long enough. You're at 1/5000th of a second shutter speed, which is way higher than you need. And you're shooting at 1600 ISO in the middle of the day. So you need to get your ISO down, and your shutter speed can drop to 1/1000th of a second without any problem.
Yeah, and
But
if you're
you
really
gotta get-
concerned, 1/2000th.
Yeah,
you're
would
really
be- would
concerned,
be
but
plenty.
1/5000th is
Dude,
way
I
too
do
much.
1/1000th for pro sports all day long.
1/1000th is good.
But anyway, long story short is your color's funky. Everything looks a little green, so you could certainly work on that. There, your color's a little better there. Number two is you got to get, if you want the pro-looking shots, you got to get separation from the background, and there's just a messy,
Or
ugly
spend the
background.
time in Photoshop, because
Yeah.
you really want to do the blurring, like we were talking about. You got to go over to
Yeah,
Photoshop.
let's just go over to Photoshop.
If you really
quick.
want to do the right way. I mean,
Right.
you can do what we just did, what Scott just
and
showed.
it's crooked, so it might be good if you straightened it so they're not running uphill. But then here, let's just let me crop that in a bit now. Okay, kind of. All right, so now let's do this. Let's go filter. Go to the new neural filters. Oh, before we go to the neural filters, hold on. Well, I guess you can try it here. Go to depth blur. Give it a
little bit.
Give it a bit.
Oh, it didn't do a good
You,
job.
yeah, well, you can't edit the mask like, oh yeah, her head's half of her head's blurry. But do you see what I mean about it separating it from the background?
Yep.
This is not the greatest idea, but anyway, that's what you got to work on. You got the idea.
And that is possible, and that depth blur is a beta feature, but there's
Yeah.
other things you can do. You could create
Yep.
a blur, mask it out, but you got to do something to blur out that
Yeah.
background.
All right, let's roll on.
All right.
All right, more birds. Ooh, and nice birds too.
Yeah, I love all those.
Yeah, these are lovely,
Yeah.
lovely shots.
I mean, you could clean up
I
behind the
was just gonna
bird
say,
there.
You might clean up a little.
Like,
It's
it's not ridiculously offensive.
No.
And in fact, that one, it's like perfectly positioned between the leaves where you don't
Yeah.
really have anything.
This one right here.
It's just that one leaf
But
behind,
still,
but it's
we're
like
just
that's nitpicking.
These are so good.
It's getting really down there.
Yeah, these are wonderful, and I'm sure the photographer that sent them already knows that. But
Yeah,
anyway,
awesome job.
Great job. High five. All right. Next, let's see what we got here. All right. Well, that's a cool shot.
Yeah, I say 1 out of 3 ain't bad.
All right, so this is, I think, clearly the best
Yes.
shot of it. You got
100%.
you got him playing, and you got the
The mood
the
lighting.
mood. It's very moody and all that. That's
exposure.
pretty good.
Yeah.
This one's okay. It looks
okay.
like someone's doing a Michael Jackson dance. It's okay, and it kind of fits with this.
I just don't even know where that came from. It's like left field.
Like you were doing pretty good. You were doing real
Real
good,
good.
and pretty
Pretty
good,
good.
and then it's like
What
I
is
took
that?
this at a fair. I don't know. This one doesn't belong in there at all. Do
that
more
kind
of
of
this.
just looks like a snapshot.
Less of
at
this
the
looks
end,
like a
the
snapshot with your phone.
Well,
Yeah.
a snapshot that you shot at a low
Yeah.
f-stop.
Yeah,
And
so-
just because you shoot at a low f-stop doesn't
make
mean
it good.
good.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah, get rid of that one. It's phew.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right, next. That's kind of interesting. That looks like Tampa.
It does. It does look like Tampa.
Some
It's
nice.
like the trolley cars.
I like the post processing, and I like all the lighting and the slow shutter speed stuff. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's definitely Tampa. That's St. Pete.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, these are all nice. That's
I
my
love-
least favorite of the three.
I
It's-
love the moon, but the
Yep.
position of the moon is a little. It would be really good, like if it wasn't intersecting with that
Yeah.
building right there.
But this is really good, and this is terrific, and this is pretty good.
Yeah, that's my least favorite of them.
Yeah, hands down.
Of course,
least favorite.
the St. Pete Pier it's become kind of not as cool.
And you've got that big danger sign in the front
Yeah.
and stuff. There's some
It's a hard one to work with.
But overall, I like where you're going. I mean, you're a very talented
I
photographer,
love the
obviously.
beach. I love all of them.
Yep.
I mean, they're great.
Yeah.
They're not bad.
All right, let's take a look at what we got here. Here we go. 1 out of 3 ain't bad. This is hands down the best shot.
Yeah.
The lighting is soft and it's flattering for your subject. She does have the cut off single amputee arm, which is not good.
Is it sharp or is it just me? Is it the face like out of focus a little bit?
Well, I mean,
It looks like the rocks
it
are
yeah.
in focus in the face.
Yeah, I
but
think
that's just me.
I think Erik is right here that the rocks in the foreground are sharp. She's a little soft.
But I think, if you're looking at compositionally, lighting, all the other stuff,
Except for the hand. Look at the hand.
It's one of those where that's your strong point.
She's missing the second hand. That's
Yes.
not good. That's not good. Otherwise, this is hands down your best shot, except for the single amputee thing. Hands down the best, without a doubt. The lighting is flattering. The fact that she's a little out of focus is working in your favor because it looks soft. But and it could go in a little tighter because do you really need all the rocks? Like,
No, those rocks aren't adding much, other than some of them are sharper than others.
that's a better composition. And this doesn't need to be so bright down here. So you could go and get the linear gradient tool and darken this right here. That doesn't need to be so bright.
Yep, right there.
Especially since she's missing in a hand.
That definitely took the edge off a lot.
Yeah, and you also might go ahead and go to the effects panel and just darken the outside edges just a hair. Just a little bit. Like that. And so you can see that makes a difference. So anyway, that one's the best one. I don't know what's going on here. This, I hate to say it, this looks so cheap and cheesy. That background is horrendous. You got folds and wrinkles and all kinds of stuff. The whole thing looks like you threw a bed
if
sheet
you're
down.
gonna shoot that stuff, you're gonna have to spend hours in Photoshop cleaning up all the folds,
just
all
looks
the
so
wrinkles,
cheesy.
smoothing everything out. So that's the one reason that the quality of that stuff is important, because then you're spending a bunch of time making it good.
But this is start over time. This is put up a nice backdrop. Make sure it's steam clean at first with a steamer. We have a steamer here at the office we use on the backdrops. This is just cheesy.
Or an iron.
Now, after we go through the cheesy background, which is it's awful, then her facial expression is like she's saying the word this. Like this? You want me to like this? Is this right? Like, she doesn't look like she's having fun. She looks like, is this what I'm supposed to do? Like, this is all bad. The lighting, you got a hot spot on her cheek.
The pose, it looks uncomfortable.
The pose looks uncomfortable. It doesn't look natural. She doesn't look happy.
She looks uncomfortable.
She looks uncomfortable. The background's bad. The lighting is too harsh. This one's
and then
like
you're drawn to the
start
snow,
over.
and then you realize
this
it's just
is
wrinkles.
So bad. I'm sorry.
It's a hard one, but that's the honest truth.
Like, this is much better, and this is not good. And this might even be the worst of all of them. This is so bad. Look at the lighting on her face. Come on.
Well, the lighting is on her.
It's on her
legs,
dress.
on the bottom.
It's on the bottom of her dress.
That's where the lighting is.
It's super bright. It's blue. But the lighting on her face, is it flattering? Is it making her look nice?
No, it's all shadowy.
Look at the lighting on her face.
It's given that you've got the dark eyes.
It's
like everything is.
It's the worst.
It's not flattering. Not flattering.
Bad. Like, bad. So what you got to do is, first off, if you're going to shoot somebody out in the direct, awful, horrendous sunlight that makes everyone look bad, go freaking buy a $10 one-stop diffuser. Put it between her and the sun. If you just spent $10, this thing would go a million miles.
Or get an old white sheet and put a frame around it, and that's gonna be a softbox.
It's $10. You can't even
get $10, but
you can't get a good cheap sheet.
I'm just trying to keep the excuses at a minimum.
Yeah,
like you could do a lot of things to diffuse light. You can hold up paper towels if you wanted to.
Yeah, this is just all. It's just, and the background's awful. It's just, this is another start over. It's just like these So this is going in the right direction, and these are, don't ever show anyone these photos. They're just,
I think there's potential here, though.
There is, well, because they took this shot.
Because you took that shot, and
right?
stuff. I think there's just mastering those couple things.
Yeah,
you definitely taking the time to look at the lighting. And
you're trying. It's not like you're just, but like, you know, you're like, hey, I'll put up a backdrop and I'll put up some snowflakes and yay. One thing that would have helped with this was to get her way further away from the background, right?
Yes.
And also aim your lights better. It's just.
You
Now, I like her styling. I like
the
the styling on her with the boots and the pants and the jacket and the layers and stuff. And then she's got the thing around her neck. I like her hair. I like her.
There's potential there.
There's potential. But it's, you got a lot of work to do.
It's wrapped up in a lot of.
It's wrapped up in barbed wire. All right. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll hopefully have some better images for you. Stick around. We'll be right back.
If you're already pretty comfortable with Lightroom, you probably do not need another book teaching you how to learn Lightroom, right? I mean, you're already using it all the time. But sometimes when you're working in Lightroom, you just get stuck. There's like a particular thing that you need to do, or there's a particular image problem you need to deal with, but you need to know how to do it and how to fix it right now. Now, imagine if you could pick up a book, turn right to the page that covers that one technique, boom, there's the answer, you fix the problem, so you keep right on rolling. A book like that, now that book would be absolutely invaluable. It just sits right there on your desk or even on your phone. And it's like an assistant, like a little Lightroom assistant standing by right there to help you for the times where you get stuck. Luckily, there already is a book out there like that, and thousands of photographers all over the world reach and grab it so they can get their work done right now. The book is called How Do I Do That in Lightroom? And each page covers just one topic, just one technique, just one fix or tweak or problem, how to solve that one thing. It is one of the best-selling Lightroom books of all time. And now it just got a huge update, which includes all the new masking features, which, by the way, those were real game changers. And it includes all the latest features and tips, the latest techniques, the new insights, workarounds, tips. It's been massively updated from cover to cover to make it the most valuable version of the book ever. Best of all, you can get your own copy right now. You can have it on your bookshelf or your phone, so the next time you're stuck, you can reach for it, get the answer you need right then, and then get right back to editing. So the book is called How Do I Do That in Lightroom, the 3rd edition. It's in bookstores right now, so go pick up your copy today.
This segment of the grid is brought to you by Platypod, the world's most compact tripod base.
Hey, we're back. In the interest of time, we're going to roll right to the next one.
All
Let's
right.
go. Here we go.
There we go.
Ooh, this is a good shot. Oh, that's a good
Talk
one.
about getting in tight.
Oh, that's tight. But you know what it is? This is what, when sports photography is really done right, you're not showing what they saw in the stands. You're showing the things that they don't see.
You can never see. You can never see
like
those
this,
droplets coming off.
like this shot, the University of Miami.
Well, you know what's so great about that shot?
Look at this one.
Yeah.
These are great. These are great shots.
Yeah.
These are great sports
I
shots.
mean, the eyes on that one is what
right
it
in
is.
the perfect spot.
That's a timing thing. That's just
These
a
are
timing
all
thing. Yeah.
so good, and great facial expression, a great moment, great separation from the background, and there is no background.
And that last one,
But even look, his shoulders are out of focus.
They were getting pretty close on that last one to that finger getting out, and they're just holding on to it.
These are great.
Yeah.
Great. This is a great example of what you should be shooting for. All right, very nicely done. Very nicely done. 400 millimeter. They're using the right glass. All right, here we go. Uh-oh. All right, lots of uh-ohs. What's the first uh-oh here? Cutting his legs off in a horrible place. That's number one. Number two is this is not a peak moment of action. Number three, this is barely a moment of action at all. Was this done at practice? When was this taken? Practice?
Yeah, you don't have any other context for anybody
Was
else.
this during the game, or is this just they're warming up?
No, I guess you're focused on that one player, mate. But again, there's nothing happening.
Nah, you need to know it was taken during a game. You need to have multiple players, unless you're doing
they have one thing. They got the ball.
They got the ball, but you can't see their really eyes, so you're not even getting the two players. It's not a good sports shot, unfortunately. The good thing you have is separation from the background.
Yep.
So you got that part right, but unfortunately the rest is wrong. This one is a peak moment of action that's out of focus. It's not sharp. It's not crisp. It's pretty bad. And
you can't see anybody's eyes.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on there. But at least it's a peak moment of action.
Yes.
You don't have the separation you want from the background, so you see mom and everybody else in the background.
But to Scott's point, it has to be a peak moment of action that's in focus.
Yep, it's got to be in focus. And number three,
another hard thing with sports.
The number three is the foot's cut off. You don't have separation from the background. It's not a peak moment of action. At least you got another player in there. If you wanted to salvage this shot, what you could do is flip the crop and go in tight here. That could maybe kind of salvage it. You might also want to hit the auto button just to give you something. But again, a guy running with the ball happens every play all day. Every single play. Every play, unless they're kicking the ball. Well, of course, as soon as the ball lands, someone runs with the ball. Running with the ball is not a peak moment of action. So a peak moment of action is he's getting tackled or he's fumbling or something. He's catching the ball in his fingertips. Those are peak moments of action. I mean, are these, this one's reasonably in focus. It's not super sharp. It's reasonably in focus. It doesn't have the separation from the background. You got lots of work to do. I have a class if you want to watch on beginner sports photography. It'll give you all the settings and all the things, and we talk quite a bit about what makes a good sports photo. We also have a class with Peter Reed Miller called What Makes a Good Sports Photo. There's an entire segment on football.
And if you want somebody to teach you that, it's Peter Reed Miller.
He's amazing. All right, let's move on. 5 more to go. Let's see what we got here. These are all pretty good. They're all pretty good. This first one's kind of nice. It's cropped a little tighter than I normally would like to see it. And you got this bright area over here, and there's no reason for that. So let's go and grab the
I was going to say,
linear
I think all
gradient.
of them need a little bit of relighting.
And just darken that over there, right? So here's you don't need that so bright, right? It's not about the bricks, is it?
Yeah, just all that does is just pull your eye over to the subject.
The lighting is pretty good. It's not like wonderful lighting, but it looks like natural light, so it's not so bad. Maybe pull the highlights back. Well, not there. Sorry. Go to your regular highlights and pull them back a little bit so you get some more skin tone back in her skin. Like it was kind of blown out. Like and just bringing the highlights back, you get some detail back. But that's pretty good. Next one over. This is just a funky crop. Her face is pretty well lit, and the background you've got separation. I'm not crazy about her smile, so I don't think that's. But the cropping is kind of funky. You need to be in more like this. That and actually, you're so tight on her head. I think you might want to go here and then take a third off the top, maybe a little more. Something more like that. That's a more pleasing thing. But
yeah, making it more intentional.
Her smile is not an. I would keep working with her to get her smile where you want it. Otherwise, the lighting is okay. You got some nice shadows on this side. It is a little bright down here, so you could go and do the linear gradient thing. We've been doing that a lot today. And whoops, other way. Pull this back a little so it's not so bright. Maybe go a little further. About there. So that the light's not so... See how the light was so bright on her down there? It doesn't need to be bright like that. And the other thing is, the light is very bright right here, and it falls off a lot. So what you might do is add one more mask, and then put a little more light right down here. That's way too much, of course. Hold on. We'll back off. Just balance the light at the bottom of her face with the top of her face. So let me see if I can just turn off that one. See how it needs to just be a little bit brighter so it doesn't look like her mouth is in shadows. But that's a little bit of tweaking. I think that one could be good. And the last one is probably the best of the three.
That's my favorite of the three.
Yeah, the lighting's pretty good. The cropping's pretty good.
You don't have that hot spot down the
You don't have the hot spot anywhere. That one's pretty good as is. So,
yeah, that's my
but
favorite.
you're doing a pretty good job. These are pretty minor things. So overall, pretty good stuff. I'm going to get another one if you want to read JC's comment there.
So JC's saying, I think that one of the best benefits to blind critiques is it pushes you to make, it pushes us to make our images good enough to get noticed and critiqued. So there you go.
All right, let's take a look. We got some nice images here. That's a really interesting water. It's a very interesting shot.
Dead tree with
dead trees tough to make it look good. It's messy. This is really good if you just post process it. It's flat. It's very flat. Let's go to the over here. If you did nothing other than just hit the auto button, look at that.
And if you go to the undo, you could just tell in the
look at the difference.
like the histogram before was just pushed over as flat, and then all auto did was say, "I'm going to stretch it out."
Yeah. Boom. I'm going to brighten your highlights, and now you could do more to it than that, of course. You could maybe pull these highlights back a bit.
Yeah, the one thing auto won't do is always add enough shiny contrast. It won't add enough.
So that's just making a few little changes here, I think. Look at your image on the left.
Yeah, it's just kind of like flat. Watch out. It almost looks like a flat raw file.
Yep. All right, so there was that one. This one is just a mess.
I just thought, it's too messy. I don't even know.
This one here, I really like all the way around. Let's just see what auto does. Not much. You might maybe.
It's got that fire and ice kind of feel to it.
Yeah, I like this one. I like this one a lot. Yeah, that's a really cool shot. They're 2 out of 3 of them are really good. Yeah. This one's not horrible, but honestly, it's so hard to make a dead tree shot look good. It's very, very rare that you see a dead tree shot where you go,
it's
that's
not
the one.
Bad photo. It's
not
just
not a good photo.
It's just not a good photo. It's just like
it's not bad. It's just not good. And we're looking for good. So you got a little work to do with that one. I would pull that one out and focus on the other two, which you did very nicely. All right, next. All right, look at these. These are interesting. Look at these.
Ooh. I like that.
Right?
I really like that.
Right?
It's so simple. Wow, that's cool. Because you know what it is? It's so... Now, see, okay. I like the other two more than I like this one.
I do too. I like this is my favorite.
I think it's because of the scale.
I like this one. This isn't bad. I still like it too
I like
because
it.
of the simplicity.
I like it, but it's not as strong as the others.
No, that's really strong. You know what it is? Simple wins almost
simple.
Every time.
It's simple and neat. Like, and it almost has like they're big trees on a sand, but you know that those are little microscopic things.
Yeah.
You know,
if this was my shot, I would take out the out of focus branches in the background. I would take the time to clone those out, or healing brush or whatever. I would get those out. You know the ones I'm talking about?
Yep.
These like this gray stuff over here.
It's just out of focus in the back.
They're not helping your shot. And like Henry, like Henry Matisse says, if it's not making your photo better, it's probably making it worse.
Yeah.
So if it's not helping, it's hurting. And this one I still like.
I like it. I'm not saying it, but of the three, it's
you're
just
right.
the one that just doesn't.
But these are good. I love what their photographers doing, like style-wise, right? All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Here we go. All right. Well, if you like those, you're going to love these. Look at this.
Wings up.
Wings up.
Wings up.
These are good, and I love the way they're
Wings up.
presented with the white space and the thin line. These are very nicely done.
Wings
gorgeous.
Up. Wings
gorgeous.
up or wings down always look really cool.
These are really good. Super good.
Yeah.
Super good.
I love the way it's processed too.
Yeah, great processing. Sharp as a tack. Really nicely done. These are amazing. I love you. P.S. I love you.
What is that?
I know. I was wondering what that is.
What is that?
What is that?
That's throwing me off.
That's throwing me off. I don't know what it is. I saw it.
There's something wrong there. There's something wrong
There's
there.
something wrong there. I don't know what it is.
But
fix
there's something
that.
wrong there.
There's something wrong there.
Because it's not the wing.
And even if it's really part of it's there and it's really
It's
there,
gotta go.
It's got to go.
gotta
Because
go.
everything else is so good. All right, let's move it on. Got two more and we're out. Ready? Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I like that one better than the first one.
Oh, we have a winner. Ooh, I love this. It's got to be Larry Grace's, one of Larry Grace's guys.
Yeah, see, I do.
This is
and
phenomenal.
I do love how jets pick up the light like that.
Yeah, that's
It's really
beautiful. At
cool.
the right time of day, jets make
Yes.
beautiful. That's lovely.
I love how you went for the detail shots
Yep,
there.
this is really nice. This is a different kind of photo, but it's nice as well. But I think stick with this stuff.
Yeah, I
this
love
stuff
those
is
two.
phenomenal.
Yeah, I love those two.
And these are like fine art, and that's a nice shot of the
that's a
plane.
nice,
It does, yeah.
That's a nice shot.
But they're all
of
good.
Of the
All good.
three. That's what
Oh,
I'm
that
saying.
one.
It's
Oh,
yeah.
come on. Frame it and sell it. All right, one more I think we got. One more. Last one of the day.
I'll let you take this one.
Nope. You take this one.
Well,
I'm not touching this one.
I'll just say, hey, they're photos. Hey, you snapped the picture. You hit that shutter.
You know, well, we'll start with this one. It's just not a flattering photo. It's just, you know, your subject is attractive.
Yeah, it's not a flattering pose. It's not flattering
It's not
lighting.
flattering light. It's
flattering
nothing.
composition.
It's not flattering post processing. She looks like she's got a black eye. It's just.
And again, there's total potential there.
Oh, all the pieces were in place.
Yes. You just literally that's kind of, there's no thought process on the sculpting of the light.
Now, if this was a model or a person, a friend of yours that you took out on location, I'll guarantee you got a better shot of that person than this. This one's just, there's nothing flattering or good, or I don't know what you're seeing in this shot. It's a pretty bad background. The background's not out of focus enough.
Her shoulders really overlit.
You took it to the warehouse. It's everything is bad here. The lighting is bad. The composition is bad. That's not flattering light. The color's not good. The location's not good. There's not good separation. It's like, how many bad things can I put in one photo? You got them all. This one's got to go. And this one is light years better for not being a good photo.
I would agree with that. Of them, I think this is the best snapshot.
Yeah, this is the best of 3 snapshots. Now, what you could do to maybe help this one is first look at you've blown out the hair. You can just click on the highlight. You've already lost detail is gone. So step 1 is to pull back the highlights, at least to get some detail back in the hair. Step 2 is you got to go get the masking brush, get in here and go to exposure, and at least bring her face into the shot. And that's way too much, of course. And we gotta do something down here to where it's not so obvious there where we started and where we ended. Maybe we have to do the whole thing. That's not so bad. That's certainly better. And then the background is so dark. One thing that you could do is maybe even just a simple vignette on the outside edges to take some of the heat off the edge. Not enough to where you can tell it's a vignette, just a little tiny bit.
Also, it might be a case, as you can see, if select subject would do that same thing we did before. And allow you to do something with that.
Yeah. It's just, but
possible,
you know what it is?
But again, we're trying to rescue something that there's just,
it's not a good pose. It's not flattering light.
It's like kadoosh.
Kadoosh.
It's like snap.
It's like kadoosh.
Snap.
All right, and the first one, it's messy. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be looking at. You got a bad blown out sky. Let's click on your highlights. Your sky's all blown out. This was done wrong in camera. I don't know where I'm looking. It's a mess.
It was a nice street to walk down, and you had a reflection on the ground, and you had a bunch of stuff working for you.
You got a bunch of work to do.
And you're kind of working against it.
You got work to do. Now, where would I tell you to start? It's not a camera problem. It's not an ISO problem. It's not an f-stop problem. It's not a...
It's a little bit of that, in that your
there's cameras, your exposure
but a little bit,
issues. That's not what's. None of these photos are holding you back. The exposure. I'll never forget going to Photo Plus East in New York, Eric. I walk in and there's a gallery set up there, right? Mm-hmm. There's a gallery set up, and there's these photographers, and they're complaining about this photo that had a clipped sky. Right, the sky was too bright. Like you see here, the sky was blown out, and you couldn't tell that the sky was that blown out because it had a big blue ribbon "Best of Show" on it, because the photo was so great that it overrode the fact that there were technical issues.
The technical issues sometimes don't matter.
Yeah, if you have a great photo, it doesn't matter. But what you've got here is, you got to go look at a bunch of portraits.
It's a seeing issue.
It's a vision and seeing issue. It's like you got to know what makes a great portrait, and then you got to go and say, like, go to 500px and type in portrait. Just, portrait of a woman, and look at those, and then look at yours, and you're going to go, holy cow, am I supposed to look like that?
And if you can't see the difference, that's exactly what we're talking about. Yeah, you have a seeing issue.
Yeah, if you're going, mine looks like that, then whoa.
And I know that this is a problem that a lot of photographers has. They can't see that their photo is so much worse than other people's photos.
Yeah,
that's where. But to Scott's point, you can get over a seeing issue, and what it is studying good composition, studying good photos, hearing from other people how they see photos, and that's where you get into. And you just have to be able to see the photo before you take.
Yeah, look, I just went to 500px and I typed in female portrait. And any of these portraits, any of them, just click on one and go, yeah, mine looks nothing like that. I have a great subject in a flattering pose with flattering light and night. I'm not in front of a factory.
If you see that stuff, if you see the difference, then try to imitate some of this stuff first.
Yeah.
To try to figure out, like, okay, now I know how they created that. Now I don't know how that's done. Now go make your own stuff. But what you're doing is just snapping photos.
Yeah, and some of these in here are not.
Yeah, some of those are not even.
That comes under either. Portrait. Yeah, that. But you will find many great portraits in here, and these are just what came in recently. But look at the lighting here. Like bird comes up first. But this is a flattering photo. It's flattering light. You've got a good subject and all. And I think you had good subjects. But you got to be worried about all of it. All of it. The lighting, the post-processing, the location. You're not shooting them in an ugly old factory. I mean, there's all kinds of... Did you have a show photo you want to share?
No.
Oh, I looked over and he had one. Okay. All right, anyway, but I would start at 500px to start looking at their best. If you go to their editor's choice, they have an editor's choice category where they pick nice photos, and you'll see lots of portraits in there where you're like, oh, that's where you got to start. So
yeah, the only other thing is like maybe you're shooting like street photojournalism or something, but I doubt it.
Anyway. Thank you to everybody that sent in images. It's never easy to have your images critiqued.
Yes.
It does help that we don't show your name.
Unless you put your name on there.
Just put your name, let's put a watermark on it, there's nothing we can do.
And if you don't send 3 images, well.
Yeah, we had some great photographers submit 2, and I'm like, oh, why didn't you send the 3rd or in 1? It's like, you're like, oh, come on.
But hey, we got a bunch of prizes to give away.
Let's give them away. So let's land on a high note.
Let's go with the Platypod goosenecks. So Janice Kamenek is going to win that, and then we have the travel photography book is going to be Bob Kinkle is winning that one, and then the How Do I Do That in Lightroom is Sharon, and then On One Effects 2022 Benson. Riri, I butchered that, Benson, sorry. And then on one V-flats, the V-flat is Allison Smith, and then the dual board XL is Dave R. So if you just email us over at gridprize@kelby1.com, we'll verify your information, send you out your prize. Just include your shipping address in there as well if you want an item that needs to be shipped to you. All right.
Well, there you go. I'm glad we didn't keep going down that page because they'd hit a bunch of nudes. So that'd have been freaky. Jason had hit the button like, no. Anyway, next week, what do we got going on? Anything?
Next week? I don't know. We have another show. That's all I know.
We do have another show. Don't forget to go to Kelby One Live to check out the travel photography conference that's coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks to you. Thanks to our crew that came in today to work on this. And thanks to our sponsors, including our brand new sponsor, Imogen. So glad to have them with us.
Yeah, remember to check out their website, imogen-ai.com.
All right. We'll catch you guys next week. Take care, everybody.